Some crimes begin with hatred, some begin with revenge, but this one began with love. A man finally found someone who understood him, someone who laughed at his jokes, listened to his fears, called him my soulmate. 3 weeks later, he was dead. The official report called it suicide due to heartbreak. But when I saw the crime scene photo, one detail told me a story the investigators completely missed. He didn't die alone. Someone was there with him, inside his apartment, the night he died. I am Knox Sherlock, and before this case was over, everyone involved learned one truth. People lie. Evidence doesn't. His name was Ethan Ward, 31. A software engineer, the kind of man who could build an entire digital world, but struggled to survive the real one. People who knew him always used the same words: quiet, loyal, too gentle for life. Ethan wasn't unpopular, he just wasn't seen. He worked, came home, slept, repeated. No drama, no adventure. Life was safe and painfully predictable. Until one day something changed. He matched with a woman on a dating app, Lila Valens, and suddenly Ethan wasn't the lonely kid in the corner anymore. He had someone who wanted him. At least, that's what he believed. Ethan and Lila talked for hours, late into the night. She knew exactly when to compliment him, exactly when to comfort him, exactly when to share her sad stories to make him feel needed. She told him, "You're the only one I trust. I've never felt this safe with anyone. I don't want to lose you." For a lonely man, those sentences are emotional oxygen, but there were red flags, and they were loud. She refused video calls, bad camera. She never shared a casual photo, only professional-style images. She worked at a hospital, but had no social media. She cancelled every meeting plan, always at the last minute. A logical mind would have stepped back. But Ethan wasn't thinking logically. He wasn't falling in love with a person. He was falling in love with hope. Every night, Ethan's co-workers noticed something different. He smiled more. He worked faster. He joked. He even started dressing nicer. Someone finally made him feel like he mattered, and loneliness makes people believe the fantasy, even when reality is banging on the door. After 21 days of calls and messages, it finally happened. Lila agreed to meet him. Saturday, 8:15 p.m. at Ethan's apartment. He cleaned everything, twice. He bought white roses because white represents a fresh beginning, he told his best friend. He dressed in a new shirt he never wore before. His hands shook with excitement. At 8:15 p.m. he texted, "Doors open, food's warm. I can't wait to see you." At 8:42 p.m. his phone went silent. At 9:31 p.m. a neighbor heard a muffled thud. At 10:08 p.m. his lights went off. By next morning, Ethan Ward was dead, poisoned. Case closed in 12 minutes by local investigators. Self-harm triggered by emotional distress. No forced entry, no sign of physical struggle, and a suicide note typed on his laptop. "I'm sorry. It looked perfect. Too perfect. And I've learned one thing in life. Perfect crime scenes are never suicides. They are murders staged to look like suicides." Ethan's family contacted me, not to prove a murder, but simply to understand. He was finally happy. Why would he do this? When I looked at the crime scene photos, I didn't see a broken man. I saw a broken story. The whiskey glass near his hand was shining, wiped so clean that not even heat haze from fingerprints remained. Suicides don't wipe their glass. Killer do. The dining table had 2 plates, not one, both with bite marks on the food. If he wanted to die, why would he prepare dinner for someone else? Why would he eat at all? And most importantly, the roses on the table were red. Receipt in Ethan's email said he bought white roses. Someone replaced them. The killer wasn't running. The killer was fixing the narrative. And in that moment, I knew someone else was inside that apartment, having dinner with Ethan, before murdering him. I don't chase emotions. I chase patterns. There were 5 details that built the map of truth. Detail 1, the dinner chairs. One chair was slightly pulled back, the other untouched. Someone sat across from Ethan, calmly, without fear or rush. This was not a violent intruder. This was someone he trusted enough to serve dinner to. Detail 2. The light's neighbors reported, lights went off suddenly, not gradually. When you poison someone, lights don't matter. But when you stage a suicide, darkness helps you wipe surfaces and make exits with fewer witnesses. The killer needed darkness, not murder. Detail 3. Phone erased. Only one thing was deleted. Ethan's dating conversations. Not bank records, not browser history, meaning motive wasn't robbery. It was erasing a connection. Someone didn't want the world to know who Ethan was talking to. Detail 4. The roses swap. Whoever swapped the roses understood their meaning. Only someone close to Ethan would know that white was symbolic to him. A scammer across the country wouldn't know this. A random murderer wouldn't know this. Someone from his real, offline life knew. Detail 5. Missing jewelry box. A small jewelry box was missing. Not valuable, not expensive. It contained a tiny seashell pendant Ethan kept since childhood. It meant nothing to a thief, but everything to someone emotional. The killer didn't bring the roses. The killer brought personal history into the murder. By this point, I knew two things. 1. The killer wasn't Lila from the dating app. 2. The killer was someone who knew Ethan personally. Someone close, someone emotionally attached, someone who didn't want to lose him, to a woman who didn't even exist. But who that person was, and how they hijacked the online identity, is where the story takes its darkest turn. To track Lila, I traced Ethan's dating app logs from the server. Different IPs, different states, different devices. Multiple women used the same profile, a catfish fraud ring. One of them, Vanessa, bought the same brand of poison used on Ethan. She looked guilty. I interrogated her. She didn't crack, she shattered. Vanessa sobbed so hard she couldn't speak, then whispered, "We manipulated him for money. But Ethan didn't love us. He fell in love with someone else, and then he stopped replying. We didn't kill him, someone else did." That sentence hit me like a bullet. Ethan was talking to two different Lilas, one from the scam ring, and another pretending to be the same woman, but not part of the scam, meaning someone in Ethan's real life stole the identity of an online scammer to emotionally trap Ethan. That killer didn't want his money. That killer wanted him. The fraud ring didn't care who Ethan loved, but someone did, someone close. So I analyzed chat patterns. During week 1, short messages, generic flirting, emojis. During week 2, long emotional paragraphs, trauma stories, deep romantic language. And this line, "I love how you always wear the same watch. You look so safe in routine." Only a real-life observer knows a man's daily watch. I reviewed Ethan's workplace cameras, completely unaware access points, and I noticed someone kept glancing at him while pretending not to. Emily Walker, co-worker 29, quiet, polite, invisible, until now. She adored Ethan in silence for a year. But when Ethan matched with Lila, Emily changed. New hair, new clothes, more makeup, trying to compete with a ghost. But how did she become Lila? Simple. The scam ring posted the same stolen photos across multiple dating accounts. Emily downloaded them, built her own Lila profile, and contacted Ethan from a new number, pretending to be the same Lila. He fell in love with the fake version she designed, not the real Emily he saw every day. And that destroyed her. Saturday night, the night Ethan thought he'd meet Lila. The doorbell rang. He opened it, expecting the dream girl from the app. He saw Emily. And Emily said exactly what she practiced over and over. "It's me, Lila. I used my real face this time. Everything else was real." For Ethan, it was nightmare. He realized he never loved her. He was emotionally tricked. He didn't yell. He didn't insult her. He simply said, "I'm sorry. I don't feel what you feel." What Emily planned for months collapsed in seconds. Dinner became silence. Then poison in his drink. Ethan collapsed. But he didn't die immediately. And here comes the detail that haunted me for weeks. She stayed with him. For 36 minutes, she sat next to Ethan as he struggled to breathe, holding his hand like a lover, even while killing him. Then she staged the suicide, deleted chats, replaced white roses with red because white reminded Ethan of someone else, wiped glasses and surfaces, took Ethan's childhood pendant, something she believed belonged to her. She turned off the lights, left quietly, walked home. Not a single camera caught her, until one did. When I confronted Emily at her workplace, she didn't panic. She smiled. Her first words, "I knew you'd appear one day." She wasn't afraid of jail. She was afraid of something else. Ethan loving someone else, even after death. In the interrogation room, she said, "He was mine first. You can't steal sunlight and then get angry when someone wants it back." I replied, "You didn't want Ethan. You wanted control." Her eyes changed. Calm suddenly snapped into rage. "If I couldn't have him, nobody could." There it was. The motive no forensic lab can measure. Possession disguised as love. Emily was sentenced to life without parole. Ethan's mother didn't cry during the verdict. She walked up to me afterwards and asked softly, "When he died, was he scared?" I could have lied, but lies belong to criminals, not to me. I told her the truth. He wasn't scared of dying. He was scared of losing the love he thought he had. She nodded, placed the seashell pendant in my hand, the one Emily stole. "Keep this with the case file. That's where it belongs." Some murders happen because of hatred, some because of greed, but the most dangerous ones happen because someone confuses obsession with love. Ethan didn't die because he trusted the wrong woman. He died because he trusted the wrong version of love. I'm Knox Sherlock, and never forget, people lie, evidence doesn't.